I am Slick Nick, the living legend of hair loss, your personal hairline hero, and of course, the red pill pusher of hair loss. So we all seem to be appreciating this turn on the channel where I've really made the focus talking about being the red pill pusher and specifically pointing out that only a small amount of my viewers, a small percentage, are willing to be mature enough and not be so self-centered that they can realize being attractive is not based on your hair. It's based on the 10 things I talk about in the video and that link right there. So there is that amount of people, the minority, who fully accept that red pill that I give them. I'd say the majority of my viewers are definitely blue pill. It's not that they disagree with me. It's just that they still want to find the cure for hair loss, or they want to prevent hair loss, or they want to at least believe that something they're doing is causing hair loss so that they can stop causing it. That's the majority. But there's also another minority who are at least active in the comments and they watch all my videos faithfully, who I call the black pills. Those are the people who most troll my videos. They've always got something negative to say, and then I just ask them straight up in the comments, are you black pill? Specifically, are you MGTOW or incel? And they will always admit it, because they're not ashamed to be black pill. I would be ashamed if that was me, but they never are. And so it's interesting because one of the things that they'll try to troll me with in the comments is they believe that basically, even if you marry a woman who doesn't love you because of your hair, she's ultimately just going to divorce you and take half your stuff. So that ultimately, best case scenario, it still all falls apart. So I want to talk about that because I feel I can speak from experience that most of my viewers cannot, and especially not my black pill viewers. So imagine this. Again, I'm older than you. I am closer to 40 than I am 39. And I have been married for over 12 years with the same person for a little over 13. So I have experienced being married and staying married. So it's interesting that people who know nothing about remaining in a committed relationship with a woman are trying to tell someone who does have that experience that you can't find a woman who's going to love you for who you are. They only wanted to take half your stuff and make your life miserable. That's the black pill mentality. So it's interesting because quite consistently, I refer everybody back to the video right here, which tells you the 10 things that makes you attractive. And it's funny because when it comes down to what it takes to remain married, because by the way, remaining married, yes, is largely about marrying the right person, or at least the right kind of person. You know, making yourself attractive to the right kind of person that you'd want to be married to begin with. But when you look at those 10 things on my list, what do you see? Well, yes, being that you're confident in yourself, that whatever shortcomings you've been given in life, whatever shortcomings that have been given, your DNA or whatever it is, you find a way to overcome those. Number 2 on the list is respecting women and supporting your fellow man. And when you look at these things, in some way, all 10 of these things come down to you serving other people and not being selfish. See, black pill people are absolutely self-centered. MGTOWs and incels, they're focused on themselves and not other people. That's why, as the red pill pusher, I keep talking about stuff that's going to help you serve other people so that they like you more. So imagine, what does it take to stay married? Okay? What does it take to stay married? Well, it's largely about what you do, how you're serving that other person, not being self-centered instead of you're serving another person. So it's interesting. So these black pill prophets who in their minds think that if you marry a woman, you ultimately can't trust her and she's going to divorce you, or they'll say in the comments that your wife is going to cheat on you, or they're secretly flirting with younger men with more hair, whatever it is. These are the types of things they say. All of these things come from a place of insecurity, which, again, on my list, the number one thing is being confident. And then a little bit further down, you find your identity in what you're good at and you're bad at. If you're bad at something, you laugh about it. You make a joke about it, which being funny is on the list too. That's number 9. But it's a matter of you find your identity in what you're good and you're bad at. But people who are black pilled have never done that. They don't have a self-esteem because they don't know what they're good at, bad at. They just stereotype things with a very dark tint on them, and they believe that that's reality. But yet, so many men stay married and are happy to be married to their wives, and it's not a miserable experience. Well, it's largely because those men know how to not focus on themselves, but instead focus on other people in general. And that's ultimately what makes people liked. Now, I want to close with this shocking revelation. What is the real reason that people cheat on each other in relationships, specifically in marriage? Why are people cheating? Is it lust? Not ultimately. Ultimately, it's the psychology that their needs are not being met, more than anything, psychologically. They do not feel that they are being taken care of as far as being communicated with and on that level. So when they don't feel that there's a relationship, a connection there, that their emotional needs are not being taken care of, then they turn to someone who is going to give them that type of attention that they need. But yet a black pill person who's very much lacking in life experience, they are going to make it all about their looks because it's a lack of understanding. They don't understand what I understand. And that is that if you are remaining committed to loving another person, which love means that you're serving someone. I mentioned this in my song, This Is What It Feels Like to Be Born. If you watch that song, I mentioned that you give meaning to another person's life. You give meaning, ultimately, by serving that person. But someone who's self-centered is hopelessly insecure, and therefore they're going to assume the worst, that even if they find the right woman, she is going to betray them. And the thing is, she might if you don't serve her. If you do not put her needs above your own, then you're going to put her in that situation. People don't cheat on each other in marriage over lust. They don't. In movies, they make it seem that way. In reality, it's not that way. If you are taking care of someone's emotional needs and serving them, putting them above you, they're not going to be in a situation where they cheat on you. That's not how it actually works. And I first learned this from my church pastor. I remember he said years ago, he said, I have actually counseled so many people who ended up cheating on their spouse. And he said not once was it because of lust. It was always because of a communication breakdown and their emotional needs weren't being taken care of, and they found someone else who would provide that, and the adultery part came afterwards. That's the reality. What I am speaking is wisdom. It's not based on fear, it's based on reality. It's all coming down to you focusing on other people, which is all about the 10 things in that video. Your comments belong right here.